we get our first look at some of the Mutant Mayhem figures. And by first look, I mean for me. Obviously, other people have gotten these things because of Kohl's or whatever. They got them early. But look at these. We've got some exclusive versions that are to this set. There are some differences between this and the regular cardback characters. But I don't have the regular cardback characters, so just bear with me. We're going to do this. This is the only way to get April and the only way to get him with the ooze on his body, which I am most certain that he in the movie is probably going to talk. There's something about the tattooed himself, maybe wrote mom, and it came out. Wow. I don't know. That's just my guess. But this box is a replication of what the turtle van looks like. I also have that van. I also have the scooter and the Leonardo one, and I got the villains, and I got the glow in the dark one. So today was a good day to pick up turtles. Listen, yes, you could get all these things online. You could pre-order and pick up, and I know that some people had success with that. I'm there a little early at Target, you know, nervous, anxiety, that whole thing. And who do I see in front of that Target? But Jay from Geek Dad Life. So the two of us grab our shopping carts, a couple of old dudes. He's a dad, so at least he can kind of play that up a little bit. I am buying these for the cats, I guess. But here we go. Let's stop talking about stories and things. There's all kinds of little Easter egg things on this box. I love it so much. I love the purple is clearly kind of got this nod to the classic Playmates and all that stuff. But it's visually, it pops, it's beautiful. You get some character design. This is always great on camera when it's too big. You get some character design, this artwork, it's really coming across in the packaging. I love it. This is a really nice box for people that are fans of the artwork. And look at this, it's so ridiculous. Really getting a good shot of these characters from the movie is really nice to see them. Because of course, when you're watching a trailer, unless you stop it and then stare at them a little bit longer, you don't get to enjoy it quite as much as you do by looking at it here in print. There you go. So you got some webisodes and some more. If you go to youtube.com/@tmnt, do that after you watch this video, not while you're watching it. And then the back of it, you get this exhaust and stuff. So you get some details of what this van's gonna look like. And I'm excited for it. The other thing I wanted to point out is, where was it? This, the making of Ninja, only at Target. So is that like a promo for a book, art book or something? Which, I mean, as an art boy, I'd be really interested. This is a really cool style, and I'm gonna say this before I open this box. I think visually this movie is gonna be stunning. It's gonna be spectacular. I mean, same thing happens with the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse, where we're just kind of blown away by the artwork. And this is gonna be animated, but it looks like a drawing, even more so, I think, than what Spider-Verse does. And what's really interesting is that these aren't going to come across in figures very well. That's why I think some of them, like some of the villains, just don't look good in figure form, even if somebody else were to do it, not just Playmates, because it's hard to take this artistic style and then make it into this kind of basic figure. Anyway, let's open it. And anybody watching this right now, I'm gonna need you to say down in the comments what you want to see reviewed next, because we got the van, we got the scooters, we got some of the villains, not everybody. I don't have Superfly, and I don't have Splinter, which is, he's not a villain. All right, so there you go. You got all the boys. It's funny now that he's without the van in place. Let's take this out. Look at that back section. So that's pretty neat. And some nice drawing in there of all the stuff. Simple. And this, I like this. This is better than plastic. Why aren't more brands doing this? This is genius. This is just a recycled material, I'm sure. Now, the big thing with this set is that they don't have their weapon rack or the tree or whatever. So that what you see right now is what you get, which is figure, their basic weapons, which is fine. I think that's pretty cool. April doesn't come in a separate card yet. He does, but without the ooze. The biggest thing here is that it's only $54.99, so you're actually saving money by getting more figures. All right, there we go. We got them all in the box. There are not many accessories for them, which is fine, and I am wondering what all comes on those trees for everybody else. And if you want to know what those are like with the card backs, then you can watch the AZ Toy Hunter. He got a hold of all this stuff last week, did a review of the card back versions of them, and he did the villains as well. So you'll see some differences between Bebop and this version of Bebop. And April, of course, as we know, does not have any option other than with this pack, which is really, really strange, because I think people will want the card backs and then they will want April, but you have to buy this whole set to get her. It's very strange. I don't know. And then Raphael comes again in this pack with a bike. So does Leonardo. Then Raphael and Leonardo also have a glow-in-the-dark version. You don't get Michelangelo or Donatello, which is really strange. So obviously they'll be making more stuff. What are they going to come with? I don't know. I really hope that Donatello comes with his little scooter from the movie versus like a bike or something. So these are small. These are playmates. So they are going to be tiny boys. They actually did a better job than what I thought. I thought Michelangelo was actually going to be bigger as a figure, but they really did alter all of their sizes, which is incredible. I mean, Playmates is normally, you know, when we grew up with it, very simple, basic stuff. These have articulation, they look great. I am usually a fan of black outlines. I don't know how I feel about them here. Like maybe they're too thick because they didn't really get outlines anywhere else. It just seems off on the mouth now. I don't know. Anyway, even on a card back, they're 10 bucks and they look great because of that purple brick and stuff. So even for this, any of the flaws are instantly forgiven because they're made for kids. Kids? They're made for kids. It's like 4 years old and up. So all my adult concerns are instantly eliminated from this because they are cheap toys. But they look great. I mean, so for the first brand to mess with Mutant Mayhem, these things are pretty fantastic looking, and they do look like their movie counterparts as much as possible, going from, you know, the animation to this, you know, basic character. That's fine. Now there's a lot of classic Playmates style that appears from this thing that I don't know. Is there any of this? Has anything changed for these figures from the movie, or are these movie accurate? What we grew up with there's a Playmate style figure, and then there's the cartoon. They just were different, and now they're doing an excellent job. Especially, it's like, well, how are they affording to do this and to make all of their sculpts so different and different heights and all that stuff? This is great. So let's just get into a little bit more details and talk about, so a lot of nice sculpt work going on here. And of course the back of it's kind of ruined with all this text and stuff, but just don't look at his back that much, I guess, you know, just turn him around. So he's gonna have this little satchel that he can put whatever in there. It'll be interesting to see. I'm sure this stuff is referenced in the movie, and we will see that. And there's never been an iteration that I've liked of Turtles where the bandana goes all the way across. Just don't like it. That's kind of his thing. I guess it's been pulled from a couple versions, maybe Rise of the TMNT, and they pulled that in. And same thing with April is now represented as a black character, and that's fantastic. You got more representation, and especially as a new generation comes in, they get to see this. Oh, I hate that the color in there is yellow, but you got a new generation of kids that are now seeing themselves represented on screen, and that's a big deal, right? So I am excited for seeing what happens with this movie, if it really does create like a whole new generation of fans that get to go back and watch all the old stuff too. Now with April, I'm noticing obviously it's 10, she would be 10 bucks, right? So there's like an extra bracelet on her that is not painted. You get the yellow coming through on the arm, which looks a little weird. She's got this backpack, so that's her accessory. She doesn't have anything else, but she's got gripping hands for whatever, I guess. There's like a hole in her pants that is not painted. Again, I mean, this is like, it's freaking Playmates, man. So chill out. It's good. The glasses are separate, and they're like, I don't know if you could get them off of her. Probably not. I'm sure they're glued in or something, but I mean, this is actually fantastic for Playmates to have this, even this level of detail is pretty nuts. The sculpt work is really what it comes down to. The paint is fine. It's mostly just plastic color stuff. I'm kind of just doing this in a weird order. I don't know. He's clearly painted on the body here. Even the skin. I don't think that's the plastic. I said clearly, and then I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm pretty positive that the body is this red color, and then they painted his skin on. But this is, hey, you know what? Not too shabby, Playmates. You did a good job. You pulled some nostalgia stuff, like the shoulder pads and stuff. So he, out of the villains, definitely looks more like the original that we grew up with than Rocksteady. Rocksteady looks really goofy, but that's okay. It's gonna look awesome in an animation, just probably doesn't come across as well as a toy. Now that seems to pop out of his hands really easily. Let me backtrack and look at turtles. That's probably what most of us are excited for because we have our favorites, right? They're all the best, but someone's your favorite. Is it Leonardo with these throwing stars on his belt, which does also seem like some nostalgic stuff from the Playmates figures, doesn't it? So I wonder if he's gonna have that on in the movie. I didn't pay attention to any of it enough. I did not do any breakdowns to see, but his swords, he's got the sheaths. They seem really high up, but they also seem to make the most sense so that he can actually reach back and grab them. So, man, this is just, they did such a good job for the price. This is nuts. I'm always critical in the times that I need to be, but there's like this orange bow staff is also, there's a lot of nostalgia. So they really nailed it with trying to get the figures to play in what we grew up with as older folks and what the new generation will enjoy. This is a good blend. It's a good style that is definitely new, and I think they did a wonderful job. These glasses can come off. They just have holes in the side of his head. So if you take them off for whatever reason and you don't want them, or you want to put them on another figure, I guess you kind of technically can. The phone, I don't think comes out. Nope, clearly an iPhone. It looks like it's got an OtterBox case on it. I kind of wish that you could take that out. I wonder if you pulled hard enough, what would happen. But there we go. And then little Mikey, he's short, his short little stature and his wide head. It's fantastic, man. They did such a good job. So I would love to see some other brands get this license to be able to play with these toys and give them the styling more so from the movie if possible. I really hope to see some customizers out there repainting these things and giving them the shadows and all that stuff and trying to do some brush strokes to really give them that look from the movie. Who should I do for articulation? Who do you want? Just say it out loud. Oh, okay, yeah, Leonardo. I heard Leonardo first, and a lot. Everybody actually said Leonardo was the best and that I should only do him, which is really weird because you're wrong. Okay, so some articulation, let's just look at them. They're all gonna be pretty much the same. There's just some minor things that will get in the way or whatever, changed how they work. But the head movement, not a lot, still better than what we grew up with. You got some shoulder articulation, which works really well. Single joint in the elbow. The wrist is pretty basic. There's no hinge or anything, it just spins. Obviously nothing going on in the body. You got the legs, which have some pretty good kick action. They are some kind of like ball joint with a hinge of some sort. There aren't any ways to get like true splits because it's all just kind of like one thing. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but the knees also have some articulation, and it seems kind of easy to like twist them into the wrong way and get them backwards. They were just backwards, but there's actually some incredible range on the knee, and then there's no hinge on the ankle. It's just got a spinning thing. So you're gonna have to play around if you're trying to get some unique poses, but this is pretty simple, and that also comes off for whatever reason. She's got a little bit more head movement because of that ball joint that's in there. It's also yellow, which is kind of a bummer. The arms are pretty much exactly the same, but her wrists don't move at all. There's literally no way to articulate the hands or the wrists. The legs are on the same kind of ball joint thing. Knees are pretty much the same kind of weird, easy to get twisted setup. And same thing going on with the feet. And he is gonna be super limited. His head just kind of spins around, that's about it. And then the arms are fine, even because the pads, the way they're attached to the shoulders. The elbows are single joints, basic. Yeah, it's all simple stuff. There's no waist articulation or anything here either, but I wonder how he's gonna stand. We've got some really thick peg holes, so I don't know what stands those are gonna work with. The neck ones are gonna be way too loose. I don't think I have anything that is that thick. I think maybe the play set and the van have pegs attached to them. Underneath, he has no eyes, so that's a little terrifying to look at. They also his little nipple piercings are hidden by his jacket, but they are on the box. Grenades are the same color, so yeah, customizers are gonna have fun painting these things up, making them look even better than they do for 10 bucks. Good God, fantastic. How can I just keep going on about the same things that you've been staring at on the screen this whole time? I'm just talking, I'm rambling. But it's just great. It's just a good setup. It's definitely the ideal way to get into the line. So if you want to grab some of these things, definitely look for that van pack. Get all of these figures, and then you just have a couple more to grab separately. Some villains, Splinter. Yeah, this is great. I can't beat it. Kids are gonna have such a good time with it. They're gonna be confused about April not having anything to put in her hands. I guess you could give her, oh, maybe you want to relive some of that nostalgia from the movies. Maybe she's got Raphael's sign. We don't know. We don't know. We haven't seen it, but it's cool. So I guess now I'm just gonna be waiting for your comments to come in so that I know which one I need to record or edit first so that you can see the next set. Do you want to see Scooter, the other Scooter, the van, the villains, or whatever? Just let me know in the comments, okay? And now I'm gonna get into a posing segment. I don't know why I said it that way. A posing segment, and then we're gonna look at them, all right? And I don't know how much posing we can get out of these guys, but we will see, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Y'all know this is the return of the one. You ain't see him coming, you just heard drums. They've been ready for the battle. Any person that comes got the weight of the world on them. Yeah, they're too strong. I might have been down, not out. It's on sight, you gon' feel